You want details? Fine. I drive a Ferrari 355 Cabriolet. What's up? I have a ridiculous house in the South Fork. I have every toy you can imagine. And best of all, kids, I am liquid. So, now you know what's possible. Let me tell you what's required.
Life advice, lifeadvicerr@gmail.com. All right, let's get cooking, boys. We had a lot of people reach out about the theater incident, and the world is torn on this one. Hey, you absolutely should have gotten those guys fired. They represent the company, on and on and on. Men of duty coming in on that one. And then we had some other people going in a million other different directions. We're not going to read any of them. So thank you for your submissions. Thank you for your time and your service. Speaking of service, we had a lot of follow-ups to my airport guy scam thing, asking for money to get back. And I sized it up pretty quickly. Or I am still upset about the $10 for the guy in Faneuil Hall 20 years ago. But a lot of people would chime in and be like, that's 100% a scam. That guy is a scammer. Not that they know who he is specifically, but the biggest thing being active duty. Like, you would not be at an airport with no money, hoping to get on a flight within a couple hours, right, or whatever. I remember too, like, as I walked out, I saw him like looking up at the boards, looking at his phones. I was like, the scam news, in case somebody had given him money. They were like, look, he's checking if there's any delays on his way back to Fort fill in the blank. All right. Exercise, sleep, and downtime. You've got a parent, a non-parent, and a non-cohabitant. New listener started listening this fall to get more into college football, as my buddy and I started betting on the weekly slate. The Life Advice section, well, hopefully you didn't follow my college football this year. The Life Advice section has turned into a pleasant surprise, and now I have a million questions that I'd love your thoughts on, but I'll try and keep this one to an area that I feel is connected by three competing priorities. Guess I should have given some stats. Canadian, 40, 5'11". That interests you, Sir Rudy?
Canadian? There's a lot going on in Canada right now.
There is. Are we going to get it? Can you Google that, Kyle?
Google what?
Are we getting Canada?
I thought we were getting Greenland.
That to me is a wrap. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
Do we want Canada?
Natural resources? Hell yeah. I love when people show a map and they complain about Canada, and they'll show like the border and the density of population. And it's like, if you have housing issues, what about all of this? Like, he doesn't understand climate very well.
Right. I've seen that.
Anyway. All right. 2 kids, girls 10 and 12, been in the Navy since I was 18. I've never liked the gym, but long distance biking racing is my jam. So I'm proud to say I've qualified for Boston with a sub 3:05 marathon. Damn. Ran the Catalina Island Marathon in 3 hours, 30 minutes. Did the Canadian Army Ironman, look that one up, in 6 hours, 35 minutes. And an Ironman 70.3 in 5 hours, 35 minutes. Longest I've ever ran is the 108 kilometer in 14 hours, 30 minutes. 14 hours, 30 minutes of running, he said again, for the audience to understand. FYI, an ultra marathon is considered any distance 50 kilometers and above, right? All right. Did play hockey growing up, so the player comp would be Lyle Odelin, currently training for a full Ironman this summer, which leads to my question. As I said above, I'm in the Navy, which translates to me traveling 1 to 2 weeks per month for work. My wife works full time. Both my kids play competitive hockey, plus other extracurricular activities. So far, man, this has been about a schedule. Did he write in just to tell us his marathon times?
It impressed me, man. If that's what you were trying to do, it worked.
It worked. I'm fully impressed. But so life is fucking busy, he says. I've started training for this Iron, but I'm finding it harder to balance everything compared to when I trained for the half Ironman. Knowing that each of your situations are different, how do you balance exercise, sleep, and downtime? How much do you work out on a weekly basis? What is your weekly sleep cycle? Do you have any downtime? Completely off the clock and checked out? For me, that's usually outside family work, exercise commitments, and involves drinking beers and watching sports, occasionally with friends. So I guess a follow-up question would be, how much do you drink during a regular week? I know these are all personal questions. Is this somebody's doctor? Is this one of the three of us? The marathon was the Trojan horse to get us to answer these questions.
We're worried about you. Just send it an email and get everybody's answers.
I guess I think we did something like this on Friday feedback. So how do you handle your work-life balance, Kyle?
Sleep's my number one. Exercise is erratic. Sometimes if a bill
how many hours of sleep? Give me your sleep schedule.
I'm like I'm a firm 7, and I could be talked into 8. If it's like 9:30 and I'm looking at her like, should we just knock out? She's like, I thought you'd never ask. It's like, so yeah, we'll do that sometimes, but I'm at least 7. I was always the second guy asleep at the sleepovers because I know what happens to the first guy. So I was always just planning out like
sleepovers.
No, I'm just saying, like, I've been a tired guy my whole life. Like I've been a like it gets dark out, I'm starting to feel it. 2-3 hours of darkness, and I'm like, let's just go to bed. And so I was just waiting for the first guy to knock out, so they could do whatever, and then I'd go to sleep in peace. So I'm just saying, I've always valued sleep. I'm down to pretty much 2 drinking days a week. One of them's usually golf, so I'm walking and drinking, and that's probably about 4.
That's not even a real day. It's like a half.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably about basically 4 Coors Lights, and we're walking 9 holes. So I'm good for one of those and 1 frolic, and I don't know. That's probably like 7 drinks at a frolic time now. So I don't know. And then exercise, like I'll do it. I do my walk stuff in the morning, my walk jog thing, and then if like a bill segment's taking too long, I'll just stand up. I got some 35s behind me. I'll just start doing stuff with them.
You'll do curls during monologues.
Yeah.
I gotta start doing that.
Yeah. I got some 10s that I got from my father-in-law, some 25s, and I got a lot of range with those. So I've been messing around.
Hell yeah.
Little advice for Ryan's Open there, Steve. If you could just keep some dumbbells near you and just pass the time.
Have I told you that I have the treadmill? I have like the desk treadmill thing. My parents moved and they had like one of those really thin ones, and I was like, I'll take it. So I used to be better about it, and I'm not. I have to get back on my grind, but I used to just like walk a couple miles while I would like answer emails and stuff, and because like it's just I don't know. I have a bad time, or I'm bad at, I should say, like balancing a lot of like my work day. Like, because it's also weird because you work from home and you're like, man, should I be at my desk all the time? Or like, can I go do stuff? Like, there's still this like weird thing in your head about like what's kind of acceptable and what's not. Even though I, as like a manager, quote unquote, I'm like, I get your work done. I don't really care like what time you do any of this stuff. And as long as people aren't complaining, I'm happy. Keep it moving. My sleep thing is weird. I am a night owl. I've always been a night owl, which is kind of weird because my dad is like the most morning person of all time. Like he wakes up at 4 every day and like starts his day. And I don't know that I'm ever comfortable going to bed before midnight. But having a kid kind of fucks that up pretty badly because luckily she's been a good sleeper. But so like I used to be like a hard 8+ hour a night guy. And I've kind of moved into the 7 and sometimes less range just because I like kind of refuse to go to sleep early. And I've been weirdly okay. Like I thought it would impact me more. I'd be tired more, and maybe just like I look tired. I got bags under my eyes. Who knows? And maybe like in the long run, it's not going to be a good thing. But I've kind of just gotten less sleep and have been okay so far. So I don't know if I'd recommend that, but that's at least what I do. And then what was the other one? Oh, drinking. I kind of only drink when I play video games with my buddies. So that's like maybe one night a week, and it's a couple drinks. That's about it.
When's the last time you went out to a bar and just were like,
it's been a while. It's been a long time. Actually, I'm trying to think. It's probably like once a month, maybe, if that.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were maybe it had been like 6 months.
No,
Denver,
but I mean,
right? Was it Denver?
Denver, we got after it pretty good. Yeah, that was fun. We had a good time. Although you guys complained that I left early, even though it was like 2 a.m. I
just noted that you were the first.
Did I complain?
You
left early?
I just noticed.
No, that's true.
I just noted because in a place with Bill and Ryan, you left before both of them. I just thought
it was like 2 a.m. and my body clock was 4 a.m.
It was over.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Totally.
I thought we were calling Ubers. I left. I don't know what you want me to do.
It was over.
But
they wanted to close, and then they were kind of like, you know what? This is a really good crowd for a midweek deal. Like they would have been out of there hours before.
Right.
So I don't think that they were going to complain because we were taking care of them. But
it's actually kind of funny. I've got a situation coming up. My buddy who lives in Chicago, we don't get to see him very often. He's coming in for like a weekend. It's kind of like hey, get out of the apartment, let my wife have the apartment to herself for a weekend and not bother her. And he's got a couple trips, couple stops like in the Northeast on the way. So we're getting him for a Friday night. And like the crew is trying to figure out like what to do. Yeah, we booked him for a Friday night, and we're like, should we just do like just a get weird sleepover situation? We were talking about like getting Airbnbs, like the town over, just to have a safe space for the night for the boys, which is a little bit weird, I guess, when you say that out loud.
It's kind of weird, but as you were saying it, I'm like, is that
like leave your location?
But now I kind of love it.
I can see Maddie like, why don't you take this AirTag with you?
Yeah. Because like the problem is like, yeah, like a couple of us have kids, like the kids will come over, but then they've got bedtimes, but I want to stay. I want to kind of get after it with my guy. So I don't know how I'm going to play it yet. So that was kind of on the table, but that would be a get after it night for sure.
Somebody on the text thread would be like, somebody's going to bang 100 dudes over here. Yeah. I've already talked about my weekly thing when I did it on Friday feedback. And then after I did it, I was like, oh, cool. You work out a lot and you're talking about it. And then you work a lot and then you have a side hobby and whatever. I think the ultimate thing is that this guy's talking about training for ultra marathons. Guess what? You are more dedicated in whatever your pursuit of fitness is than 99.9% of the people walking the fucking planet. All right. So like for us to give you perspective on how to balance it all, you have decided to take on some of the most physically challenging endeavors in any competitive field, and you're doing it and you're clearly doing it really well, and it makes you feel better. So like if you don't have guilt, like what my real advice to you would be like, what thing are you trying to unlock? Because clearly you enjoy the pursuit of these high intensity extreme sports that you're a part of. Like you are wired a very different way, and I think you should be psyched about all of those things. So why are you coming to us for advice? Really? Like there's nothing, none of us are going to be able to tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing, because I think very clear that you have a higher level to commitment, to a higher level of commitment to challenges that would strike fear in almost every man.
The Iron Man thing is kind of getting me now, though. This is a good hypothetical. So just let me finish. Hold on. 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, and obviously the marathon, which is 26.2. What percentage do you think you'd finish? Like if you just had to do one of those things, like which one do you think you could finish the highest percentage of? I think it's the bike ride, even though it's 102 miles.
Oh, I'd be the swim for me. I got Johnny.
2.2, almost 2.5 miles of swimming. That seems like the hardest one.
Yeah, miles long. I was gonna say swim too, but I don't know. We talking ocean swim, right? I mean, where are you gonna find 2 miles? Like a big lake, maybe?
You could turn around.
I'll even let you do it in a pool, but like how many laps in a pool is 2.4 miles?
A lot of laps.
Unlimited time. If you're telling me if you could finish one of these, I think I would choose the 2 miles in the water.
The bike thing, man, you get that lactic acid burning up in the quads. I mean, again, we're just talking about sitting around and then, hey, pick one.
Which one?
Everybody would drown.
Yeah.
The bike thing, the second charge up a hill, you'd be like, I'm out. So it'd probably be walking the marathon. Yeah. It'd be walking the marathon.
Yeah, but at least the mile, you get some downhill. You know, you get the cruise, you put on cruise control for a little bit. Oh, I don't know.
Cruise control?
Yeah, you go downhill. I don't
know. All right.
I think it's the bike. Anyway. Let us know.
The advice we give that guy is don't ask us for advice. Fine. Checking his Goggins hasn't asked me anything going on because we can't. You don't need our help. Let's see here. This one is good, and it's just so specific and weird. I don't know what's going on with the sorting today. Having sorting issues. Dream job destroyed by Maniac. My name is
that would be fun if it was that guy.
I was told to give a proper player comp to receive advice. The truth is I don't watch much basketball. Generally, I prefer movies, so my player comp is probably my favorite movie character, like the great Bilbo Baggins from The Hobbit, 2012, 169 minutes. Cerruti's like seen it 4 times. I'm always willing to listen. You're a big Lord of the Rings guy, correct? Cerruti?
I am, huge. But not The Hobbit. I don't know. The original.
It was fine.
3.
Give me more of that world. That's fine.
The original 3, obviously.
I actually almost got so fired up yesterday that I was like, it was gonna be like my first like video trend thing I would ever do. There was a guy, you've seen those things where like they give you like a random thing and then you got to rank it 1 to 10 or 1 to 9.
Yeah,
this guy did it, and I'm always just like, oh, this is stupid. There is one guy that ranks gross food and like gags, and that I don't know. I'm like drawn to that for some reason, but this one that I saw was the one time I was like, I might actually do this one. I'm not going to do it now that I said it. It was characters from the Lord of the Rings ranked that you would want to have a beer with. And I was like, this is fucking perfect. I followed the guy right away because I was like, I hope you do another one of those. Anyway, Lord of the Rings. I'm in on all that stuff.
All right. Two big guys on it. All right. So I'm always listening. I'm always willing to listen. Take the advice of wiser men. I much prefer the safety of my hobbit hole, watching films and enjoying my cozy life. I was recently given the job
Second
of a
breakfast.
lifetime.
11
Yeah. Similar to Tom Hanks in Big, 1988, 104 minutes long.
That's funny.
This is good. This is good, Kyle. When he gets a job as a toy designer, I was given the opportunity to be the resident expert on a web film review series. Again, a resident expert on a web film review series. Meeting the other host, we'll call him Tim. He seemed to be a family man. Also the title of a fantastic film starring Nicolas Cage, 2,125 minutes. And truly interested in learning more about films from someone with my expertise. However, here's where I need your advice. Since you host a popular podcast and have obviously dealt with a wide variety of personalities in your industry, I need help with how to continue my dream job, yet keep my sanity. I first sometimes noticed that Tim did not seem to actually be watching the movies he reviewed sometimes. He will often seem unsure if a film is animated or live action. And I'm not talking about great movies that mix both, such as Roger Rabbit, 1988, 103 minutes, or Cool World, 1992, 147 minutes. He doesn't have runtime, but we might add it. I'm talking about fully animated films with talking squirrels. I'm fairly certain that Tim is not a film buff at all. Tim is also extremely abrasive. He will yell and scream at the staff. He often appears to be inebriated, and I believe uses a vape pen to do drugs. He subscribes to every crackpot conspiracy theory there is. This often bleeds into our reviews, and he'll bring up an anti-vax nonsense, holistic medicine, or call for the public execution of political figures. Is this a scam? This can't be.
I'm trying to think. Is this a guy that exists already that he's trying to like put into an email?
Yeah. Is he describing a movie character?
It has to be.
Or like a
just
guy?
fucking with
or just
us?
a guy?
Yeah.
Like, is this Alex Joe? I don't know who this is.
He's hijacked my highly rated and fan favorite segments to play his music he makes, introduces bandmates, or talk about his personal life. A show that was supposed to be for film buffs has turned into a soap opera, and everyone knows that soap operas are not movies. The final straw was I've recently partnered with a fellow movie buff, and we began cataloging a collection of great films to be stored. Wait, is this about Simmons or something? Like, what's going on?
I don't know. I'm nervous.
I am nervous too.
It's not about me, right?
No, I know.
Like ruining your sports show. I don't know.
Right. Then there's going to be an email that we get like 2 days from now. How could you not know that was about Family Ties season 4? Like, you're right. I forgot. So the final straw, I've recently partnered with a fellow movie buff, and we began cataloging a collection of great films to be stored in an exclusive library for the enjoyment of other buffs. These are being kept as VHS tapes, as the quality is impeccable and the cost is minimal compared to modern DVDs. I believe Tim purposely destroyed a large chunk of this collection out of jealousy of the expensive library that was being built. The police said that the fire was suspicious and my renter's insurance is holding back. So this isn't true.
What is it referring to? Like what?
Yeah, no, this is really what we're trying to, like, what did this guy do where we're not figuring out what the punchline is? Regardless, the insurance could never replace the sentimental value of such a collection of great cinema. It's truly priceless. I can't talk today. This guy's in my head. As I sorted through burnt, destroyed classics such as Citizen Kane, 1941, 119 minutes, The Wizard of Oz, 1939, 102 minutes, and Willow, 1988, 126 minutes. I love Willow. In my temporary library at a storage garage, I knew that I had to take action. Should I quit my dream job? Is it possible to make him realize he's ruining a great outlet for people who love great cinema? I fear I may never get the opportunity to review these great movies again. How would you proceed? What time was that sent? It was sent midday.
If it's real, start your own podcast or whatever, YouTube channel. It's the only thing I have. I don't think it's real, though.
There's something that we're not figuring out behind that. Like, is he trying to say that someone in the world that we're in is doing something and then the other person is ruining it? But then the fire and the insurance thing, again, he wrote this before the fires happened, so I don't think he was.
The weirdest version is none of it happened and he just made it up to have an interesting email. That would be the weirdest version of it.
The weirdest version is it's real.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any chance.
All right, we end this week on a mystery.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. Tune in next week.
Yeah.
God damn.
man, it's going to be in my craw for days.
I really hope it's not something that like we're just being really stupid about. It's like, oh yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, but that can happen like every now and then, and I, there are on-air people that I don't even like that'll make mistakes where I'll think that's a tough spot there, and people make mistakes or whatever, and so when it happens where you're like in it and you're trying to figure out like what's my advice going to be or whatever, and then you'll kind of be like, oh, like when that guy did the Cure lyrics, like, all right, you got us, but are you fucking serious? I'm supposed to remember the Cure lyrics from 40 years ago. Well, that's your loss by not listening.
Sorry,
but I loved them. I don't remember their lyrics, but this one is very weird. I don't know what the code is right now. Maybe somebody else will figure it out. And if you do figure it out, try not to be so hurtful about it.
Yep.
So how about that? All right. Enjoy your weekend. Ryen Russillo podcast. Thanks to Kyle. Thanks to Oregon. Well, thanks to
whoever else this is. Well,
presence.
Oregon's in Florida
right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoever else is doing this, great job. Ryen Russillo podcast on your Spotify.